Okay, guys, I'm going ahead and going to record the extra inning game on Sparky Bowl I. I guess we'll call it Sparky Bowl 1.5. And if I get enough people that want to see this, I'll post it. Otherwise, I'm just doing it for myself. After 9 complete, the game is tied at 2, and we're heading to the 10th. And to update everybody on the lineup changes after the pinch hitters and relief pitchers are in, here is now the current lineup for the Tigers. We have Johnny Grubb is now the new left fielder, and because he pinch hit for Herndon, and Rupert Jones is the new DH since he pitch hit for Barbaro Garbe, and Willie Hernandez is in as the pitcher. For the Reds, the only change in the lineup is that Merv Retman pinch hit for Dan Dreesen. He is now the DH, and Will McEnany is the pitcher. So we start the top of the 10th, and it'll be Kirk Gibson to lead it off against Will McEnany. McEnany is in his second inning of work, so he is now semi-fresh. He is semi-fresh. So here we go. McEnany against Gibson in extra innings in Sparky Bowl 1.5. It is a 1-4-5. 1-4-5. Ask, is the pitcher a struggler? No, the batter column is blank. And we got a ground out to first base. So Gibson grounds to first, 1 away. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Lance Parrish. So Sparky's really in a bind here as he's betwixt and between himself, schizophrenic managing, and his two teams are deadlocked at 2 here in extra innings. Here's Lance Parrish. It is a 1-1-4. 1-1-4. Ask, is the pitcher fresh? He's semi-fresh. Decide or Die says no, not this time. Is it a sad sack or patient? He is neither. So it's a single to right field for Lance Parrish, single to right. And the result was in purple, so we're going to the chemistry chart. And again, as a reminder, both teams are neutral. So we'll see what happens here as Johnny Grubb, the left-handed batter now, is in there as he had pinch hit for Herndon earlier against Clay Carroll. So we'll see what happens on the chemistry chart. It is a 1-6. It asks batting team dissonance. No, they don't have dissonance. So it's a walk. So Johnny Grubb walks, and that's been a theme of this game for the Reds pitching staff are the walks. So runners are at first and second now with 1 out. And that's 2 consecutive batters given up by McEnany. 1 more, and he will be rated a semi-struggler. And that'll bring up Rupert Jones. Rupert Jones to face McEnany. And the pitch is a 1-6-6. 1-6-6. Ask, is he a workman? No, he's not. Is Rupert Jones a whiffer? He certainly is. So that is a strikeout. So out number 2 here in the top of the 10th. And that now will bring up Chet Lemon. So Lemon is the last chance for the Tigers here in the top of the 10th. Still have 2 runners on base. And the pitch. It's a 2-3-3. 2-3-3. Ask, is the pitcher an ace or star? He is a semi-ace. Decide or Die says he is. Therefore, it's a ground ball to short. And the inning is over. It's actually a fielder's choice ground out 6-4, if you want to be technical. But the 10th inning is now over with nothing doing. So we go to the bottom of the 10th. Chance for the Reds to win it in their half of the 10th. And it's still 2-2. Cesar Geronimo will be facing Willie Hernandez. Hernandez is now semi-fresh since this is his second inning of work. So Geronimo lefty on lefty against Willie Hernandez. It's a 1-1-5. And a 1-1-5 asks, is the pitcher fresh? He's semi-fresh. Decide or Die says he's still fresh. So therefore, it is a pop fly to the infielder of my choice. So we'll say he pops up to Lou Whitaker, 1 away. And we go back to the top of the order and Pete Rose. So Pete Rose steps up. And here is Rose. And that is a 4-5-5. 4-5-5. Ask, is the pitcher a workman? No. Is Rose patient? No, he's not. It's a ground ball to first, so Darrell Evans will make that play. No problem. 2 down. Base is empty, and we're looking like we're going to the 11th here. Here is Joe Morgan. Morgan with 2 outs and the base is empty. And that pitch is a 1-3-5, so we do have the unusual play chart. And when the 1 die is black, that is the ballpark qualities. So we go to the ballpark chart, and the little card for Riverfront Stadium says that Riverfront is semi-big no matter who is at bat. So we've got a semi-big ballpark. So since it's a semi-quality, the decider die could come into play on that. So we'll see what happens on a semi-big ballpark. That could keep Morgan from homering. Let's see. It's a 3-4. 3-4 on the ballpark rating chart. 3-4 asks, is it a big ballpark? It's a semi-big ballpark. Decider die says it is a big ballpark. Ball drops in for a single. Otherwise, shortstop would have snagged it. So that actually helped Morgan by being a big ballpark. So Morgan singles with 2 outs. Morgan singles. Now, normally this game, just if you go by just the basic concept of it and the basic charts, that steals are incorporated in the game. There's no manual stealing. However, with the manager cards, that is something that can be rectified. And of course, Morgan is an excellent base stealer, and in real life, in this kind of situation, he would definitely be looking to steal second base and get in scoring position. So let me pause this real quick while I get the manager card out, and we'll let him attempt a steal. Okay, we have 6 manager card options we can use throughout the game. I haven't used any for either team. So here in the extra innings, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the attempt stolen base manager card. And what that says is it can be used multiple times. It says first roll decider die to see if runner gets jump. If he gets a jump, then we can see if he steals. So first of all, we're going to see if the decider die says Morgan gets his jump. He does not, so that takes care of that. So there will be no stolen base as he was unable to get a jump off Willie Hernandez. So much for that. And back to the batter, Tony Perez. And Perez will see if he can drive him in instead. It's a 1-5-6. 1-5-6 is blank, and that would normally be a strikeout if both pitcher and batter had the same handedness, but we got a right-handed batter against a left-handed pitcher, so we will ignore that. The next check is a whiffer. Perez is a semi-whiffer. Decider die says he is a whiffer, so Hernandez strikes out Perez anyway to end the inning, and we are going to the 11th. So after 10 innings in Sparky Bowl I and 1.5, it is the Tigers 2 and the Reds 2. Okay, we start at the top of the 11th. Unfortunately, the score sheet that comes with History Maker Baseball only goes to 10 innings. So what I'm going to have to do is flip this over and keep score manually, just in, I guess, play-by-play fashion versus symbol fashion. And we'll do the top of the 11th. Top 11. And the new pitcher for the Reds is right-hander Raleigh Eastwick, because McEnany has already pitched 2 innings. So Eastwick will be on to pitch, and he'll be facing, for the Tigers, he will be facing the combination of Evans, Castillo, and Whitaker. The numbers 8, 9, and 1 hitters. So it's Evans, Castillo, and Whitaker. All right, so we'll see what happens here. Top of the 11th, and we'll come over here to the bottom of the 11th when it's time. All right, so Eastwick, the new pitcher, is now he was already a semi-ace. Now he's an ace and a half in this first batter, Darrell Evans. So we'll see what Eastwick can do against Evans. And here's the pitch. It's a 3-4-6. 3-4-6 is blank, but there's their opposite handedness, so that's not going to be a strikeout. That's just going to go to the next result. The ask is the batter eager, and Evans is actually patient. He's not eager. So it's a base on balls. What do you know? Another walk. So active runner would steal on that result, but Evans is stoic. So that means that he will stay where he is. Now the next result is the team chemistry chart. Team chemistry chart. So we'll see what happens here with Evans at first base. And Marty Castillo up on the chemistry roll. It's a 4-6. Pitching team dissonance. No, they're neutral. If they were dissonant, it would be a base on balls because the pitcher was distracted. Otherwise, it's a line out to third. So Castillo lines out to Rose for out number 1. And that'll bring up Alan Trammell back to the top. I'm sorry, Lou Whitaker back to the top of the order for Lou Whitaker against Eastwick. And it's a 4-4-5. 4-4-5. And that result is a workman for Eastwick. He's not a workman. It's then asking, is Whitaker patient? Whitaker is semi-patient, but the decider die says no. So then it's a ground ball to first base. Ground ball to first base. And on a lead die of 4, the ground ball to first base is first base unassisted. And that means that Evans will move up to second base. So Evans is at second on the ground ball to first. And now Alan Trammell is up with a chance to drive home Evans and try to break the tie. So Eastwick facing Trammell. It's a 2-3-5. 2-3-5 states. Ask, is he wild? No, he's not. He's got semi-control. Actually, he has regular control. Is the batter eager? Batter is not eager. He's actually semi-patient. So it's a ground out to second base. Ground out to second base. So a ground out to second base for Trammell, and that will end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 11th, still tied at 2. And since Hernandez has pitched a couple of innings for the Tigers, he will be lifted. And relief pitcher Doug Bear, former Red, is in the ball game. And by the numbers that I was able to look up for him, he has no qualities. He is completely blank. So that ought to be interesting in itself. Johnny Bench steps up and he will lead things off here in the bottom of the 11th. So we'll see what Bench can do against Doug Bear. And it is a 1-2-4. 1-2-4. 1-2-4 asks, does he have control? No, he does not. Is the batter eager? The batter is not eager. So it's a base on balls. So what do you know? The theme continues here for a walk. So Bench walks, and that'll bring up George Foster. Foster is up, and Cincinnati hopes Foster is Australian for home run. So we'll see. Foster against Bear. It's a 1-2-6. 1-2-6 asks, is the pitcher fresh? Yes, he is. It's a line out to second base. So there's one away. And that'll bring up Ken Griffey. It's Griffey and then Retman due up after him, as Retman took over for Dreesen at the DH slot. So Ken Griffey is up to the plate with Bench still at first, 1 out, and the pitch. It's a 3-3-6. 3-3-6 asks, is the pitcher an ace? No, he's not. Is the batter sad sack, utility, or patient? He is neither of those. So it's a single to center field. And on a lead die of 3, the runner advances 2 bases. So Bench will move to third and on the single by Griffey. So runners are at the corners. And since it's in red, we're going to the player experience chart for this next at bat. Both players, Bear and Retman, are icons. So it's icon pitcher against icon batter. An iconic at bat coming up. Runners at the corners. 1 out. And the pitch, or the result, is a 1-2. 1-2 asks icon batter. Yes, he is. Draws on experience, launches highlight reel, blast to left, fence. So this looks like this is going to do it. It's a fence check, and a fence check for Retman, who is listed as a semi-scrapper. Decider die says he is a scrapper. However, no matter what the roll is, he's going to get a hit because the worst he could do is get a single. Let's check it officially. It's a 4, so that's a double. So the double by Retman wins the ball game. Bench will trot in, and that is it. The Reds have won Sparky Bowl I. It took them 11 innings to do it, But Merv Retman off the iconic at bat was able to do it. And so that's it from Riverfront Stadium, Sparky Bowl I, and it's the 75 Reds coming out on top in 11 innings by the score of 3-2. Winning pitcher Raleigh Eastwick, losing pitcher Doug Baer, and Merv Retman, who came off the bench to pinch hit for Dreesen in the regulation time, has stepped up big time with his double to end the ball game. And Sparky Anderson now has to wonder if his statement in the 84 book is correct about the Reds of 75 not being as good as the Tigers of 84. However, the fact that the game went 11 innings tells you that they seem to be pretty evenly matched. I don't know if my homebrew ratings were as scientific as maybe they should be. I tried to do the best I could using the rating book from play.com. So that was a fun experience. It took some time because you have to go individually by player and rate them for all these different characteristics. But it was a fun thing to do and learned a little bit. So anyway, that's going to do it. And that's going to do it from here for History Maker Baseball and Sparky Bowl I and 1.5 as it turns out. Don't know if there'll be another Sparky Bowl or any other kind of bowl, but I just wanted to try something different, and this seemed to pop in my head when I was looking at those books. So that's what I did. I hope everybody enjoyed that. Like I said, when I posted the 9-inning game already on YouTube, and if I get any feedback on that, wanting to see the extra innings played out, I will post this video accordingly. If not, I'll just keep it for myself. But either way, that's going to do it from here. And until next time, hope everybody enjoys all their games, no matter what their game of choice is. I enjoy all the games out there pretty much, whether it be History Maker Baseball, Stratomatic, Payoff Pitch, Replay Baseball. They're all good. They all have their qualities. And I like to rotate them as much as I can. But the big thing is, it's just a hobby I've picked up and gotten into and really enjoy. I wish my recording equipment was a little bit better than what it is. But it is what it is, as the old saying goes. So I hope everybody has a great day and enjoys this and enjoys the board gaming hobby. And we'll check in with everybody later on.